Mighty Radio.
Hello and welcome to this brand new edition of 5 Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me, my co-host Guillermo Cita and Mr. Dodger Blue himself, Albert Cita. If you guys are listening to the podcast, not watching us on YouTube, Albert's been wearing this Dodger Blue sweater for like 3 weeks in a row now.
Kiki Hernandez, dog.
Kiki Hernandez.
I got the Kiki fever.
It's bananas, right? This thing.
Yeah.
Today's show, we got all the fallout from UFC 198, the epic card that was in Brazil. It was stacked with a bunch of Brazilian fan favorites. And some of them went the way the Brazilian crowd wanted. A lot of it didn't. The main event still didn't go the way the Brazilian crowd wanted. We're also talking about the new upcoming TUF season and continue our weekly update of McGregor versus Mayweather rumors. So let's get started, gentlemen.
Okay.
Ready?
Let's
go. Round number 1. And new heavyweight champion straight out of Cleveland, Ohio, Stipe Miocic. Which is kind of ironic that I think it was on Saturday, the ESPN debuted that Believeland 30 for 30, right? Where the whole tragic story of the heartbreak of Cleveland
there
sports
is no
fans.
heartbreak in Cleveland.
Come on. Every sports town has its bad stories. I mean, but I guess
if you have a movie, which one's the one with
Major League?
Yeah, Major League. Come on, you have a whole movie. Calm down.
2 movies, actually. And then like a couple hours later, Ohio's own, Cleveland's own Stipe Miocic knocks out Fabricio Verdum to win the UFC heavyweight champion. So thoughts and reaction to the knockout itself. Guillermo, this is your boy from day one.
It was only a matter of time. I had kind of already said that Stipe Miocic would eventually be the heavyweight champion of the UFC. It was only a matter of time. So he finally got there. I was impressed. I mean, I thought, all it was going to take was one punch from Stipe Miocic. And so I was excited. I was happy. Bringing one for Cleveland.
And also an American has the title back now. It's good. Where it belongs. No.
I was more excited that an American has it. And I think with that win,
this is an election year, by the way.
There's no more Brazilian champions, right?
No, I don't think so.
All the way from 125 all the way up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
No Brazilian champions anymore.
No.
That's it.
That's weird.
The Brazilian era has officially ended thanks to Stipe Miocic.
That is weird. Yeah, it's true.
So
take a little process there.
Yeah, I was more excited that an American won it.
Yeah.
Than anything else. Stipe looked incredible. And if you watch the embedded,
2 minutes.
Well, he was ready. I think he was ready for the shot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like this guy. He's kind of felt that he got shafted, especially when the whole Cain Velasquez versus Verdum rematch was announced. I mean, this dude after his last one, he went to Dana White and started screaming, "Give me a title shot! Give me a title shot!" And instead of doing the rematch with Verdum and Velasquez, they gave it to Stipe. So. I mean, this is a guy who's calling for it. Like you said, Guillermo, he's definitely earned it. So now, looking ahead now, obviously because he's a champion, you can only celebrate for so long. Looks like Alistair Overeem's probably going to be next in line.
I think that's the logical choice to tell you the truth.
It times up perfectly because we still have to wait for Kane and Travis Browning, which is in July, UFC 200. Yeah. So for that,
and come on, Stephen looks like he can fight probably next card.
Yeah.
So.
And we got to wait for that to play out. We don't know Alistair Overeem's injuries yet, but
I think it was just his toe that took real damage.
If it's just a toe, it times out perfectly where they can meet up sooner rather than later. If he waits for Cain Velasquez, it's later. And we still haven't heard from Verdum. I don't know. Dana White does sometimes give out immediate rematches.
Do they have any upcoming events in Brazil?
Not that I know of.
No rematch for Verdum. Yeah, this is the guy who beat Arlovsky, beat Mark Hunt. He lost to JDS, but that was a close. But talk about
I thought Stipe Miocic won that fight against JDS, to be honest.
So now with Stipe as champion, well, I think JDS was already on the block.
He's back on.
Yeah, he's back on it again. But he was still on it because he knocked out Verdum at the UFC, and he
has a win over Stipe Miocic.
So he's back up there now, right?
Doesn't he have a torn labrum? Or
yeah, his shoulder's gone. But I'm saying now he could go on social media and still say something. Hey, I deserve a title shot.
Yeah. I think he needs to come back from that injury and face someone else, and then we can probably see him if Stipe Miocic is still champ.
So if the UFC or if you're Stipe, do you want a quick turnaround and face Overeem, or do you want to wait for the winner of? Well, honestly, if Brownie beats Velasquez, does he get a title shot? Or is this Brownie versus Velasquez all for Velasquez to prove he's ready for another title shot?
I think it's to prove Velasquez. If Brownie wins, I think he still needs another win because I don't think Brownie would overlap or overpass Overeem.
Yeah.
So Overeem right now is the leading dark horse. Can Cain Velasquez do something spectacular to overpass Overeem? That's what it really comes down to, and that would really decide who Stipe fights.
So people are saying like there might be some stylistic matchups like that could propose a problem for Miocic, but like other than JDS, he's been pretty dominant, right? I mean, he hasn't really has he really faced like a wrestler and only real wrestler in the heavyweight division is Cain Velasquez, right?
Yeah.
So other than that, we don't know what his ground game is, but in the heavyweight division, they like to stand and bang anyways, and there's not really any submission specialists in the heavyweight division anymore. So I mean.
Well, then we have you also have that loss against Junior Dos Santos. You have the loss against
Stefan
Struve that you can kind of build off of to see what you can do against Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, he's the baddest man on the planet. So
yeah, that's what happens when you become the heavyweight champion. So I think people. I don't know if they're giving him full credit, you think, or Stipe Miocic, or do you think it'll be an acquired taste for most fans?
I think it's always one of those things where once they defend it, then even with Verdum, I mean, it was hard to be like, oh, he's the guy.
Yeah.
It's always after they defend it, then people are like, oh, no, he...
It's because he's not a household name yet. But I think with the title reign...
Yeah, a win over Overeem or someone that big...
A win over Cain Velasquez.
You get put in the map. I don't want to say that.
Anytime a new champion's crowned, it's always exciting news. So that's it for round number 1. Stick around. We got the first 2 rounds. First 3 rounds will actually all be at UFC 198 and the Fallout. So we're talking about Cyborg and Jacare coming up next, guys. So stick around. All right, time for round number 2. Get that timer started for me, please, Guillermo.
Got it.
So, UFC 198 also marked the official UFC debut of one Cyborg Justino, Christine Cyborg Justino, probably the most dangerous women's fighter on the planet for many years, right, Albert? She's considered?
Supposedly.
Come on.
She has a couple losses in kickboxing. Come on, bro.
I said MMA. Come on now.
I'm just saying.
The Dana White, for much as you hate Dana White, do you agree on Cyborg or what?
It's not that I don't agree with Cyborg. I'm just not fully sold on Cyborg.
What? She's fights 145 division.
There's a couple things I'm not sold either.
Division, and she cleans it out. So what more do you guys want?
And she takes performance-enhancing drugs.
Okay.
She has a history of that. Second, she doesn't meet weight. So, I mean...
No. When did she ever not meet 145 pounds?
Well, that's 145. We don't have a 145 weight class.
Question. So, she made her debut. They obviously put on the honor on this card to fluff it up for the thing. Yeah. They're so desperate for cards for attention nowadays. Is there a home for Cyborg in the UFC?
No, there's not.
No?
Because, even after she fought, if you heard her after the fight, interview, she said that she would only do catchweights in the UFC, and if she's going to defend the belt, she's going to defend it and Invicta at 145. That's a joke. I mean, like, if she dropped down to 135, no one can say no to Cyborg. Right now, it's these ladies that either take it or not take the fight, and I think that's a joke. I mean, like, to her, if she really wants to prove that she's the most dominant person, drop down to 135 to the weight class that you want to beat up all these girls.
So why... This is like a one-way street. So if Holly Holm, Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey are all calling her out or saying she's not good, why don't they try and meet her? Why is it that the hunters should go down? You know what I mean? It's like, if they want to prove how good they are, shouldn't they meet a compromise too with Cyborg? Or just because she's not in the UFC, so you're out of here type of thing?
Well, there's no weight class to begin with at 145. So, it'd be a catch weight. So I just don't think there's the belt is really, when you talk about Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm, and Miesha Tate, they're all going for the belt.
Yeah.
So why are they going to go up? It's kind of like the whole Conor McGregor. Everybody's like, oh, he's not even defending his belt. So these ladies are the elite of 135. They're trying to get for that. They're trying to be the best at 135. Then here comes Cyborg saying, "Oh, you guys are nothing. You guys are nothing. Why don't you drop down to 135?" If she's the one, calling them out that she'll destroy Ronda Rousey and stuff like that, you go down to 135.
But if they're saying they want to fight her, I want to fight her, but she'll come down. That's like the Floyd Mayweather tactic, homie. Come on, you can't beat me at my weight class. You know what? Then if you're never gonna meet, then you should just keep each other's names out of each other's mouths, right?
In her defense, if you saw her at 140, she looked very, very thin. I don't know where she's gonna lose the other 5 pounds, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But with that said, though, I think she has a smart game plan. Stay in Invicta for 145 and let the other girls battle themselves out. And when there is no challenger, they need a fight. I'll meet you at 140. We'll do a special little event and whatever.
You get to keep your belt.
Yeah, keep your belt. I think we're in a new era where people are starting less and less care about belts. I always go back to boxing. Who did anybody knew what belt Canelo had?
No.
On the real? You can ask like all his big fans, whatever. Hardly anybody knew what belt they were even fighting for. Belts don't really matter. He even said at the end, Canelo said the best at the end. He said, "You know what? Let's move the belts aside. If you guys want to see the Triple G fight, let's go. Let's do it. Let's pick a weight and let's fight in that weight class." And I think that's where getting to that era where it's just the belt is just pretty much like a standard where you're at. but then we get to see these special fights.
Yeah.
And I think Cyborg has a perfect game plan. She defends the belt in Invicta maybe 2-3 times, and if Miocic Tate can't get beat, if Miocic Tate is able to do 2 title defense, I think we see that matchup.
But then the other thing too is like we've always said that when people go up to weight classes, it's kind of an unfair advantage. So I mean, you got to take that into perspective.
Well,
Look at what
if they
happened
meet at
to
140,
Conor.
I think that's
People push
fair.
it going
It's
down,
5
though.
pounds, 5
Yeah.
pounds. It's a fair one.
Yeah, I heard Dana White on LA Sports Radio this week, and he said they asked him in 5 years how many women's divisions are going to be. He said 3: 115, 125, 135. That was it.
Yeah, see.
In 5 years, that's it. So
And like I said, I think it's fair. It's a 5 pound.
I wonder
thing.
why. Like, does he not think 145 is viable? I mean, the Gina Carano fights at 145. I mean, Cyborg. They're not like. Why does he like completely hate 145 pound women?
Because
for?
Cyborg's in it, and Cyborg was with Tito Ortiz, so
Is that why? Just to take
of
Cyborg
course,
out of the
of
UFC?
course.
So when she retires, then he'll openly welcome
He
145 pounds.
made-
I'm pretty sure there's a few.
He made it a weight class, right? That supposedly had no stars, and
Yeah.
that's why he did the Ultimate Fighter. He can say whatever he wants now, like, "Oh, what do you mean no stars? We have, the current champion
Yeah.
and Rose and blah blah."
115
Okay,
pound,
yeah, but
strawweights.
you made an Ultimate Fighter because you thought that there was no like actual person that people knew,
Yeah.
and this show would have, show the new things. Why not do the same thing for that weight class, especially when you know you have a dominant champion in there?
Yeah.
He's just a hater.
I mean,
He's a hater.
The more divisions, the better. I mean, you obviously need more fights for the multiple cards you're putting on
Yeah.
in a month. You have 3 cards a month now. It seems that
But
way,
for
so
now, I think she has a good game plan though.
good game plan. All right, so that's it for round number 2. Congratulations to Cyborg. She made her UFC debut and go back to Invicta now. Like, still collect that money. Not in a bad way, but still collect that
Yeah.
money. So
She still get paid.
we're going to talk about Jacare Souza coming up. And did he get robbed from a title shot? Time for round number 3. What do they say about alligator's bite? It's
Vicious.
It's vicious.
If it takes you in the water, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's what happened to
There's
Vitor
no getting
Belfort
out of it.
on Saturday night. I think it was a co-main event, right? Was it the co-main?
Yeah, it was a co-main
Yeah,
co-main
it was
event.
the official co-main
And
event.
Jacare made Vitor Belfort look like his prey.
He
less than 2
got
minutes.
sucked in the water and he was done.
Won it by TKO. Jacare's doing what he does in the UFC. I mean, he's beating guys. What I want to know is, like, now he lost to Yoel Romero, and it came out that Yoel Romero,
Questionable.
he lost to Yoel Romero.
It was just, it could have gone either way on
That
the
fight was
decision.
garbage anyways, and Yoel Romero, he turned out to be
positive.
test positive for
So that means
PEDs.
technically Jacare won that fight.
And technically, Machida never lost to Yoel Romero.
Technically, Machida's still a middleweight champion, right?
Yeah, the way I see it, if you really do your numbers right, he's still the champion.
So
No, he's not.
in the UFC's haste to fill out cards, and because they have so many, they gave Luke Rockhold Chris Weidman a rematch.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why. Because Chris Weidman got beat up pretty badly.
Because he made a
when won.
mistake. And he was able to convince Dana White of the mistake.
Mistakes. Don't all fighters make one
Yeah,
mistake in a fight.
Because he
I
went
know.
for a wheel kick.
A wheel kick
that,
that
he
no
has
one
never
doesn't do.
landed in any fight.
So now that we see Jacare is pretty much the rightful number one contender. Did he
Correct.
get robbed of the title shot?
I think so. I think honestly, you're right. Chris, that's not an excuse for Chris Weidman. Jacare right now is proven to be the most dangerous threat to Luke Rockhold and to Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
Put Jacare against one of those two guys, and it's a lot of trouble because his stand up is great. His
jiu-jitsu.
His jiu-jitsu's like no other.
He's
I mean, like
super strong. Look what he did on the
yeah,
ground.
that guy looks so strong. He looks like his body.
Yeah.
I mean, take away his head. He has like the perfect
Take away
human
his
body.
head.
Yeah, I know.
Because of the body the head doesn't match the body.
It's like chiseled. Albert, so is he pretty much just kick back, wait to see who wins against Weidman and
Yeah,
Rockhold?
if he was smart, he would just wait it out.
Oh, sounds like me.
Yeah.
But this time, you know how close this bout is, though? It's not like
Now,
we're talking about.
if you're Jacare, you take any fight at the moment. You know why? Because there's no way he's losing.
Well, if I'm Jacare, I ask
Oh, well,
you to give me
honestly,
a first class ticket to the LA.
Honestly, if he really did want to take it, Michael Bisping is always out there.
Yeah.
There you
And that's always money.
Michael
It's
Bisping's
always
been saying
money.
that.
It's funny because I was
true,
listening to
but it's always money.
The post fight, and that's the fourth name they mentioned. Like Michael Bisping with that win over Anderson Silva kind of propels him. He's like quietly there. But I mean, if Jacare wants that, I mean, I think Jacare wins that fight easily as well.
Yeah, I'm
So-
with Albert though. You gotta wait on this
Oh,
one.
Yeah.
you guys sound like
You
me.
guys-
I was just trying to be opposite.
And
from you guys.
the only reason I say it too is because he got skipped when he beat Musasi. Sorry, Musasi, don't go after me.
He did beat Musasi, though.
Yeah. But after he beat him, technically, I thought he was the guy next in line. And after the Chris Weidman fight, Luke Rockhold, I thought he should have got the next one, regardless of how the Yoel Romero came out, because he came out positive, so that's not in void. But he technically got skipped. So I think the only smart thing to do is wait. unless like if he wants a bout, the only one that makes sense to me is Michael Bisping.
I mean, but like if you think about like there's such a big gap between even like Rock Cold Weidman and Jacare, and there's a big gap in the Michael Bisping.
Well, no,
I mean, come on now.
You also have Yoel Romero. I mean, I know he tested positive.
Yeah, but I'm not that guy's.
And where's Tim Kennedy? Will someone tell me why he's not fighting?
Every time I see him on social media, he's like training. He looks like completely ripped.
Yeah.
Like
The only time I hear him is when he's all I'll fill in. I'll fill in. I'm like, why isn't he booked?
I'm sure Dana White's like, the minute you keep your mouth shut, we'll book you.
But like this dude's like he's an American hero, Tim Kennedy.
And then of course you have Robert Whitaker.
Yeah.
And then you have Anderson Silva losing to Uriah Hall. So Uriah Hall
that happened. I think I missed that on Saturday.
Well, he forfeited.
He forfeited.
Anderson Silva forfeited.
Dude, Uriah Hall won so badly that Anderson Silva had to go get surgery. No, he had to go get surgery.
So you got to propel Uriah Hall into that.
The fear of facing Uriah Hall gave Anderson Silva such bad anxiety he had his gallbladder removed.
That he had to go get surgery for it. See, look.
No, but you know, there's still like this lower level. You have Tim Kennedy, Uriah Hall. You have Robert Whitaker still making that rise. Robert Whitaker, big time. So we still have these guys rising.
The number one heel in UFC, Gregor Mousasi.
You're right. He's right.
What do you think he called little Machita?
Yeah. So you got these.
Embrace it.
You talked about you have this top bracket and then the lower bracket.
Yeah.
I think the lower bracket is rising.
Yeah.
So I think it's only a matter of time before we start seeing that blend of the lower top 10 kind of making a threat to the top 3 right now.
And with that said, I honestly think Vitor has one more matchup in him, and that's it.
No, lightweight or middleweight? Lightweight or middleweight? Sorry.
To tell you the truth, it's tough. It's a tough one because at middleweight, I just did not see obviously we didn't get to see that much, but he just felt very weak. I don't know if it was just if Jacare is really that beastly strong.
No, I think Vitor's done.
No, I think there's probably one more, but like you said, I don't know if it's at light heavyweight or middleweight.
No, Dan Henderson if you take Vitor Belfort down to the ground,
not another Dan Henderson
at this point,
fight.
I think it's over.
Yeah. So
give him Tim Kennedy for crying out loud.
I want to see Jacare at the Great Versus Forum.
Give him Tim Kennedy versus Vitor.
Whoever the winner is, Rockhold and Wyman go in there and face off because I think it should be next in line.
This should be the two cheetahs. Against each other.
All right, that's it for round number 3. We're going to take a quick little break and come back for the championship rounds, talk about the new upcoming tough season, and, of course, the weekly update of Conor McGregor. So just stick around, like this quick, short little break. We'll see you back. Time to get to the championship rounds. Round number 4. What's that saying? If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
The same before. I think
that's exactly what I do.
It looks like it was announced that Joseph Benavidez and Henry Cejudo, 2 former flyweight contenders, will coach the upcoming season of TUF, which will be of flyweights only. And then the winner of that flyweight tournament for TUF will get a shot at Demetrius Johnson's title. So it's kind of basically they're promoting it as, well, we got to train somebody to try and beat Demetrius Johnson so we can get a title shot in the future. Do you guys like this idea? Do you like 2 former contenders scheming to try and defeat the current champion team? It's like the Justice League against Darkseid or the Avengers against Thanos.
I totally hate this idea, and it's dumb because it feels like a booking when John Cena faces the tag team champions, the current WWE tag team champions, and then the tag team champions lose. It's like you just made the whole division weak.
Yeah.
And he has the wrong scenario. It's Brock Lesnar versus the tag team champions, so the tag team champions have to get together. So I think this is a great idea, honestly. I think
it's novelty.
The thing is, what have you said about this weight class, right? That there's no stars besides Demetrius Johnson, and Demetrius Johnson is questionable because he's not as marketable.
But
with Joseph Benavidez and Henry Cejudo being as the coaches, we get to know them more. And then
I agree.
And at the same time, now we're being introduced into these new flyweights, and not only are we being introduced to them, they're being trained by the best elite flyweights to beat Demetrius Johnson. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
But that shows them weak, though. It's like, oh, bro, both of you guys get together to train one guy and tell him your secrets of what helped for you, what didn't help for you to beat your champion.
But think about
that's dumb, man.
Basically, if you think about it, you're coaching someone for a long training camp on the weaknesses of Demetrius Johnson and what to work on. It's just like if they were to go to any other camp, the only thing is what I think is I think it's a positive is you're adding the TV aspect of it, but because they want us to kind of get behind or rally behind this person to make it legitimate for us to watch Demetrius Johnson versus the winner of the flyweight tournament.
Let's make a scenario, right? Let's say that this tough champion, right, beats Mighty Mouse, Henry Cejudo in Joseph Benavidez fight. Winner faces that guy. Okay, like so the coach automatically faces the student right off the bat.
Yes,
That's a great storyline.
That's what you call drama.
Dude,
right there. Come on,
That's a great
That's called
storyline.
garbage
Isn't that wrong?
booking, bro.
You just brought excitement to the flyweight division, Albert. What are you not seeing?
different scenarios.
Look, the
many
beauty
possibilities.
of Rocky 5, dog, when he trains.
The beauty is that Rocky
when he trains,
won.
when he trains the one guy, whatever, Tommy Gunn. It's overtime, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff to settle, stuff, you know. And then plus you have a way older fighter.
Dude,
you know, the drama isn't there, bro.
Okay, let's go one weight class up. You have T.J. Dillashaw versus Uriah Faber, or
But look
that
how
potential
long, though.
rumor.
Come on, man.
That feud. You got teacher versus but you build drama in that weight class. You're building drama in the flyweight division. What's wrong with that?
That's a little bit different, though.
It's just kind of strange though, because it's like
One was organic and one's being fed to us. That's what it is. That's what it's a Roman Reigns whole situation. Seth Rollins organically came to us. Roman
Brian
Reigns was
organic.
forced to us, and right now I'm feeling forced in the flyweight division. I'm getting forced it.
You know how they,
but at this
you know,
point, who does the Demetrius Johnson have to
They have to
face
do
at
this.
flyweight? Be honest, Albert.
That's what
they
you do a
have
triple
nobody
threat,
at
bro.
flyweight division. they're talking about him moving up. This is creating more drama, more storylines, more stars in the flyweight division.
Yeah.
It's something that needs to be infused in there.
I can see why you should.
What
make
else
it,
would you have thought of?
But
for
I would.
Demetrius Johnson?
If they
What
wanted more
else?
flyweights, make a flyweight tournament, but don't make the freaking coaches.
But see,
Support
what
for two guys
yeah.
in the middle.
would the flyweight tournament really do?
Make the coaches the middleweight guys. I don't know, welterweight guys.
They're-
Make it Robbie Lawler.
They're giving the biggest threat to Demetrius
and
Johnson
Tyron
an
Woodley.
opportunity to
Yeah.
coach this guy to actually dethrone Demetrius.
I like that better. They should have done Tyron Woodley and Robbie Lawler be the coaches. Two
No.
good coaches there that I think can have a good game plan to be mighty
And
Mouse.
but think about it, if Demetrius Johnson does happen to lose thanks to this, it'll open up the division wide open.
Yeah.
Then everybody has a
So
shot.
you're banking on
no,
the
but
champion
you have
losing?
what other
Yeah.
options do you have when Demetrius Johnson has no other threats in the flyweight
You just
division?
make a flyweight tournament.
That
That's
or,
it.
like,
you don't
I
have to
don't-
you
involve
eliminate
Castillo.
all these. Well, you're still eliminated with the tough tournament, but I think with Henry and what's it call it,
Benavidez.
Benavidez being there, they're still in that title picture. If you do a whole flyweight tournament, you eliminate them right off the back,
Yeah.
or you eliminate both of them.
Either way, again, I think we're in an era where belts don't count, and he should move up.
and just not worry about the belt anymore.
No, he could go back down, but I'm saying
you gotta defend the belt. If you have the belt, you gotta defend
He
it.
already defended like
Then
a
why
million
have
times.
belts?
Well, honestly, I'm gonna be tuning into this season, so UFC, you won me over.
Whatever.
Thank you.
We got one more round coming up, and it's gonna be more Conor McGregor talks. It should be fun. Time for the fifth and final round. McGregor versus Mayweather boxing match. Rumors will not die, mainly because McGregor and
Well,
Mayweather will
both
not
of
let
them.
it die.
Yeah.
Recently, where was McGregor at? Some fight, right?
It was
he ringside.
It was Mayweather that was ringside
Yeah.
that got the interview
On Showtime.
Was it Showtime?
Yeah,
Showtime
Showtime
Sports.
And they asked him. He said, "It's gonna happen. There's no win." He wasn't. He did not deny anything. He wasn't saying that there's rumors. He says we're working on it. That it's gonna have to be a boxing match. He made a pretty good point because he's all like, look at all. This is from Mayweather. I'm paraphrasing it, but he said, look at all of McGregor's wins in the octagon. They all
stand-up.
came stand up. So more likely, I think it'd make more sense for it to be a boxing match. And that's how he wants to prove a point. He wants to beat me in boxing. Those were like legitimate, like that's a legitimate interview. There wasn't,
Yeah.
he wasn't like screaming or he was calm. It was like, the fight's gonna happen.
Yeah, and on top of that, before when you would ask like Mayweather or any boxer about an MMA fighter, but like, come on, man,
Yeah.
you know, I'll
don't
wipe
do
the
that
floor
stuff,
with
yeah.
them, blah 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 blah. He like you said, he said, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a tough fight for me. When you start talking like that, when you start giving a little bit more respect,
He's selling the fight.
He's starting to sell the fight, and he's starting to, that's the next obvious step that fighters take when they know that they're going to be matched up against each other.
But then you talked again when you talked to Dana White, he says never gonna happen because Conor McGregor's
It's-
under UFC contract. If it wants to happen, McGregor call him.
It's funny because a
Mayweather called
lot
him
of
away.
fighters compete in jiu-jitsu outside of UFC, and it's perfectly fine. I don't know if it's because it's technically a non-combat sport. I don't know if that's the reason, but
But
if
people
that,
do kickboxing all the
yeah,
time.
oh then no, that's true.
The UFC,
Or the
No.
grappling, what's it call it?
Yeah,
Where Kenny Florian does.
well, yeah, that's what we're saying. Jiu-jitsu, like the grappling.
But that's
tournament.
jiu-jitsu. But I think what's his name? He was in the heavyweight division. He's going out with Rose.
Pat Barry.
Pat Barry. Didn't Pat Barry go to kickboxing while still under a UFC contract?
they released him.
They
anyway,
released him.
yeah.
Went to go,
So,
But maybe I think that's what it is, the combat aspect. But either way, Dana White needs to move aside and let this boxing match
He's
happen.
not going to let it
the
happen
circus
without
happen.
him getting a piece of the pie. You think,
Yeah,
right?
I think
what it
that's
is.
really comes to. This is my guy. We built him into a star.
But see, even with that said, Mayweather has put on fights with promoters all the time. People forget, like, just to let you know, Pacquiao didn't get 100% of those proceeds. He has a promoter.
Yeah.
And such forth. Even Canelo, the Canelo fight, it was Golden Boy. So he knows how to deal with promoters. And I think you'll be able to.
What's the real issue? I
fix
think
that.
there's more issues than we see.
No,
It's
that's
more
an issue I
behind
see.
closed doors. I think it really, to me, it's something to do with the UFC sell.
Yeah.
I think
the rumors.
Yeah, the rumors. Until that gets straightened out, then we can kind of see a little steam pick up on this. Right now, both fighters are saying the right things. Though, if you look at,
they're not killing the rumors.
Exactly, Conor McGregor. Hey, I'm thinking about money and stuff like that. Little subtle messages towards I'm talking to Money Mayweather to get this fight happen, and Mayweather's actually doing these interviews and actually making it seem like Conor McGregor is a real legitimate threat. Because everywhere you look at, that if it's boxing, they don't give Conor McGregor a chance. If it's MMA, they don't give Mayweather a chance. These guys are making it seem like there is a possible chance of one beating the other.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, like, you have to strike when the iron's hot. It was like, even remember the whole when Mayweather finally fought Pacquiao, it felt a little bit deflated, didn't it?
Yeah, well,
the steam was
coming off a loss.
And so when the iron's hot, you guys strike, and it made me mad too because Dana White at that time when they couldn't get the fight made, he was so. I remember when Pacquiao lost to Marquez. Dana White had an interview and he was so mad that they weren't able to put together the Mayweather fight that everybody wanted to watch. And I'm like, see, bro, he is literally the biggest hypocrite of all. People want to see this fight. Shut up and make it happen, bro. Yeah. But I think you're right. I think it has more to do with the UFC selling, even though Dana White's denying that too. Yeah. But I heard that thing's going to get picked up by $4 billion.
Well, technically, he's only a 9% shareholder, so he has nothing to say about that.
He got nothing. Yeah, for real. He can say all you want.
The Fertitta brothers.
The Fertitta brothers who own 80% have more to say.
I think maybe because if they do sell the company, Dana White no longer be president of the UFC.
It depends who they bring in,
but if I about the UFC, he's the first one fired.
9% of $4 billion, that's a pretty big paycheck for Dana White.
I keep everybody but Dana White.
I'm sure he'll be fine once they sell.
I fired Joe Silva too.
Again,
Joe Silva gets fired. Dana White gets fired.
Of the UFC.
Everybody else stays.
Why would you do that?
9%.
Joe Rogan gets fired too.
Wow. Why would you do that?
And I'll keep. You know what I'll keep Goldie for? What? To do interviews in the back. He ain't do no commentary.
Man, you're burning our bridges.
I know.
I'll burn them all today.
Come on. They're new announce team.
This is hypothetical. Am I ever going to get $4 billion, guys? Come on.
I just want to hear your reasoning behind that. But.
So that's it for this week. Round number 5 is now over. We'll tune in next week to see what's next in the McGregor saga, McGregor Mayweather saga.
Again, Conor makes the 5th round. I mean, that has to be a record.
It was a tough battle between Will Brooks being released or from Bellator and Conor McGregor. We went with Conor McGregor.
Also, was the most notable thing, Brendan Schaub took a picture of with him and Scott Croker, like a winky face, like got no reaction.
Were we supposed to get excited over that
I
or
guess
something? So. Was that supposed to be news or something?
Yeah.
Check out our Twitter. We have Steven Seagal, Albacita, that did not train for me.
First of all,
he did a face swap. Who had the picture of Steven Seagal on their phone?
Albert did a face swap with Steven Seagal. Yeah. And ended up looking like Mark Hunt. Exactly like Mark Hunt. It's so weird.
I think that's a compliment, though.
And what he must be such a dummy for sending me that picture.
I'm gonna stop saying. First of all, it was a snap. So I thought there was like privacy involved. Like I just send it to you, and then the next thing I get is he screenshot it.
Come on, bro. How many snaps have you screenshotted?
None.
Come on.
No, I respect the privacy.
You respect the women.
That and plus it tells the person you screenshot it. And you're not gonna.
Some guys are just dogs and don't care. That's it for this week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. We are not on Snapchat, by the way. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe
you will
to
not get snapped from us.
YouTube and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. You can also listen to this podcast at FightBookMMA.com. That's FightBookMMA.com under the podcast page. And a big, huge thank you to all of our sponsors. First, the Rocking Green eco-friendly cleaning products, 5 Rounds Clothing, which Guillermo is wearing one of their shirts right now, and of course the RMA Foundation, Redemption Martial Arts, rise up against bullying. Albert, take us away.
Thanks everybody for listening.
The Miz curse is real. Ooh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.